So I'm going to be multiplying the numbers 93 times 86. We've been working on doing this with a game called Multiplication Wrestling, and we're just pretty much going to use the same strategy that we've learned from using that. So to do 93 times 86, we're going to break it up into different teams. We're going to break up the number 93 into teams, or what we would call expanded form, which is really 90 plus 3. That's actually 93. And we're going to multiply that times another team of the team of 86, which is really pretty much just 80 times 6. What I like to do is I always like to make sure that when I'm multiplying, that I'm multiplying the same from the same team or from the same number, 90 times 80, then I like to multiply 90 times 6. So what I'll do is I'll write those in first. 90 times 80, and then 90 times 6. Then I'll go to my next place value, 3 times 80, 3 times 6, and I'll make sure I write that down. 3 times 80, 3 times 6. Once I do that, I obviously then need to actually go back and do the math. When I do the math, I'm also going to be really careful to make sure that I write the numbers, or I should say the products, in the correct place. That way when I add them up, all of the ones are lined up correctly, all of the tens, the hundreds, thousands, 10,000, etc., etc., etc. Right, so I know that 9 times 8 equals 72, but I also know that this is 10 times greater, this is 10 times greater, so 10 times greater plus 10 times greater is actually 100 times greater, so I know that the answer would be 72 times 100, which would be 7,200. I also then know that 9 times 6 is actually 54, but it's actually 10 times greater, so that needs to be 540. And as I said before, I'm going to make sure that I line up my place values correctly. I know that 3 times 8 is 24, but it's also 10 times greater, so that's going to be 240. And then 3 times 6, finally I don't have to multiply anything by 10 times greater at all. 3 times 6 is 18. Finally, I'm going to add them all up. I'm going to add up all of my ones. I know that that is 8. I'm going to add up all of my tens. I know 4 tens plus 4 tens is 8 tens plus one more 10, that's 9 tens. Then I'm going to add up all my hundreds. 2 hundreds plus another 2 hundreds, that's 4 hundreds, plus 5 hundreds, that makes 9 hundreds. And then I'm going to add up my thousands. There's only 1,000 at 7,000. That'll be 7,000. So my total answer for the number 93 times 86 is 7,998. Voila!